Okay, finally. I've been racking my brain for like an hour almost, trying to fix whatever issue I've been having here. The audio hasn't worked as I've been expecting. The my desk is falling apart. It's all a mess. It's all a mess. And my camera isn't where it's supposed to be. It's all a mess. It's all a mess. And if you're one of the like 3 people who watched yesterday's stream, I'm sorry. I had no idea the computer audio wasn't being broadcasted for some reason. It's really strange. It's really strange. I fixed it. It shouldn't have happened, but hey, that's what happened. And we're just gonna have to live with it, okay? I know you guys can make do if you're actually seeing this. Today, as my my title probably has already revealed, we are gonna watch and react to some Branden Fraser. For those of you who do not know, Branden Fraser, and I can't stress this enough, he was a box office hit. If you had Branden Fraser in a movie, you knew he was gonna be it was gonna be a smash hit. It was inevitable, really. And then disappeared. So before we watch some of these videos, and I'm doing this, by the way, if you didn't realize, if you know, because Branden Fraser had a 6-minute long standing ovation. Fraser standing ovation.
Branden Fraser in tears amid his Renaissance.
It's exciting.
The actor cried tears of joy as he received a 6-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival.
Can you imagine how awkward it is? Just standing there. Just knowing you can't leave.
A blast from the past as the actor,
you're just gonna have to take it.
Seen in the 90s, steps back into the spotlight with the lead role in The Whale.
Dream come true.
Branden was visibly moved and clearly humbled by the audience's reaction.
What the fuck do you do? You know what? I thought of this. What would I do? Because I can't take this. I don't blame Branden Fraser here. Oops, sorry. I don't blame Branden Fraser here. I completely understand him. What do you do when you have a standing ovation for 6 fucking minutes? Last night, it came to me. So, first of all, of course, you take a bow and please, just calm down. Whatever. Not that big of a deal, right? And then when you realize you're just gonna have to take it, you stand up, walk onto stage. There's got to be a mic somewhere. You grab it and you say, "Thank you so much. Now please go fuck yourselves." I'm being for real. Please go fuck yourselves. And if they continue, I'm sure they're gonna laugh. That's the point. But if they continue to clap, I'm just gonna grab a chair. There's gotta be some chair somewhere, and I'm just gonna sit there, rolling my thumbs, soaking it in. That's what I would do. Now, is it as spectacular as I would hope it to be? No. Will I ever get a chance to do it? Absolutely not. Never, ever, 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 ever will I be able to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sleepy today too. The reason I'm sleepy is because I'm trying to get a better what's called day-night cycle. It's been horrible lately. I've been staying up till like 5, 6 in the morning. That's not good. That's not healthy. So I'm trying to get back into normalcy by forcing myself to stay awake as long as possible. Last day, I managed to stay awake right up until 4 o'clock or something, I believe. And then I slept, and I woke up at 9. That's not the full 8 hours, but I couldn't go back to sleep. I got up. Anyways, that's enough of me. I'm hoping to stay awake longer today. My girlfriend's coming later. We're gonna watch the second episode of the Power of the Rings, and hopefully I can stay awake till then. Whew. But until then, nope. As dramatic as I hoped to.
One famous fan applauding from afar, Dwayne Johnson, Brendan's Mummy Returns co-star. He shared his well wishes and thanks to Brendan.
Yeah, Mummy Return.
Tweeting, quote, "Man,
That's
this
a
makes me
bop.
so happy to see this beautiful ovation for Brendan. He supported me coming into his Mummy Returns franchise for my first ever role, which kicked off my Hollywood career. Rooting for all your success, brother."
Yeah, I mean, this right here.
For Brendan,
People will not realize, if you weren't there back then, in this scene, The Rock is a nobody back then. He was a nobody acting next to the next comedic Tom Cruise. That's who Branden Fraser was. The next comedic Tom Cruise. And yeah, it launched
role, he makes an
Wayne's
epic transformation. He's completely
stardom.
unrecognizable, playing a 600-pound man. His
God
character
damn.
is a writing instructor struggling to reconnect with his teenage daughter, played by Stranger Things' Sadie Sink.
It always chimes 4 times.
I haven't watched Stranger Things.
But this isn't the first time Brendan's been
Not my
vulnerable
thing.
about his comeback.
I think I might be sick, a little anxious.
Oh
I
no.
mean, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, last year during a virtual meet and greet with fans, the actor got a little teary over this sweet moment.
You got this. You've got this.
Got it.
Just know that the internet is so behind you. We're so supportive. There are so many people out there.
I
who
love Branden
you,
Fraser.
and we're rooting for you.
I
and
hope
we
he
can't wait
sees
to
this.
See what you do next.
Shucks, man.
He's so pure.
No doubt Brendan
Like for real. For real. He's just a cutie. Come on. Gotta love
is
him.
feeling the love, but a quick word for millennials. Maybe hold back a bit if you see Brendan out and about.
Very often, millennials, young people to me now that I'm stampeding towards middle age and wearing cowboy hats, press events, approach me and say, "Oh, I loved your movies. I loved you in George of the Jungle. I was 4 years old."
Yeah, I mean, oh god. Didn't even. Let's do this. George. I mean, Branden Fraser. Yeah. This was him. Bren. Well, I mean, difference. This man has undergone since since this time. I mean, whoa boy. He got laid. Dude's got a family, right? Yeah, so Branden Fraser been praised to heavens for his role in The Whale. Let's see what happened. Why haven't we seen him? Never spell his name. What happened? Let's do a Watch Mojo.
If
Yeah.
there's one star everyone desperately wants to see return to the spotlight, it's Branden Fraser. Although he never completely faded from the public consciousness. He's been the subject of memes and GIFs, that Golden Globes clap anyone? But if we're not making him into a meme, we're asking, whatever happened to that guy anyway? Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today, we're looking at whatever happened to Branden Fraser.
Such 90s hair.
I was wondering if this is...
And it's certainly a valid question. After all, Fraser was absolutely everywhere in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I told ya.
He's perhaps most well known as Rick O'Connell from the Mummy series, two of which were released in 1999 and 2001. But he also starred in the likes of George of the Jungle, Bedazzled, Looney Tunes Back in Action, and Crash, in one of his finest dramatic roles.
All right, if we can't duck this thing, we're gonna have to neutralize it. What we need is a picture of me pinning a medal on a black man.
Those movies alone combined to gross over $1.2
Seen that.
billion,
Probably should.
making Branden Fraser one of the most profitable leading men of his day.
Yep.
But somewhere
See?
along the way, everything changed, and certainly not for the better. The first and perhaps most recognizable thing to plague Fraser's career was his poor choice in movies and resulting box office bombs.
Okay, so I was wrong about that one.
The first two Mummy movies grossed over $400 million each. And while everyone remembers The Mummy, no one remembers his other 1999 release, a movie called Dudley Do-Right, which saw Fraser as a Canadian Mountie. That movie grossed just $10 million on a $70 million budget, making it an enormous box office bomb.
Dudley.
Why would you want to... Why? George. I mean, Branden.
However, one bomb does not a career ruin, and Fraser was lucky enough to recover. But
Oh,
then they
Monkey
kept coming.
Bone.
In 2001, he starred in an even bigger disaster called Monkey Bone, which grossed just $7.6 million on a $75 million budget. 2 years later was the aforementioned Looney Tunes Back in Action. Nowadays, it's a beloved film, but when it was released, it grossed just shy of $70 million on an $80 million budget. Certainly not as devastating, but a bomb nonetheless. It's clear that people loved Branden Fraser in the Mummy movies, but that didn't mean they would love Branden Fraser in just anything. Hollywood executives looked at the box office performance of these three not
And
outrageously
you know,
budgeted...
to be fair to me, and I love being fair to me, of course, even Tom Cruise has had some bombs. So, yeah. He was a box office hit, just like Tom Cruise is. You know? Can't win them all, can ya?
movies, and began to question Fraser's capability as a leading man and box office draw. But then came an incident that was far more destructive to Fraser's career, and his mental health. In an exclusive sit-down with GQ's Zach Baron in 2018, Fraser recounted a groping incident that took place in the
Damn,
summer
those
of
blue eyes.
2003, just a few short months before Looney Tunes was released. During a lunch held by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association,
Okay. Whoa. How much does this guy scream sexual abuser, right? How much does this guy scream? I've never satisfied a woman in my life. How much?
ex-president Philip Burke allegedly grabbed Fraser's butt and fondled him with his finger. Burke, in turn,
Or a dude, you know? considering the situation. Never satisfied a dude either, I'm sure.
Admits that he pinched Fraser's butt in a friendly manner, but calls Fraser's story a total fabrication. Regardless,
Pro tip, guys. Don't pinch people's butts. It's a secret, but you'll get far with it.
this particular incident caused Fraser to spiral into depression. Fraser recounts that he entered a daze and retreated both into himself and away from the public eye. In Fraser's words, it ruined, quote, who I was and what I was doing. Work withered on the vine for me. In my mind, at least, something had been taken away from me. He asked.
So, people who haven't been sexually abused or intimately fondled against their wishes, put it that way, might not realize just how psychologically damaging it can be. And the fear and this, the fear and the angst, the anguish, just the miserability, the miserableness that you go through after such an experience. It's really damaging. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I might talk about it in a later date. I'm fine today. But the weeks after, oh boy. And especially if you have to see other guy or the girl, I mean, women can be monsters too, come on a daily basis, that's gonna leave some marks, you know? Fortunately for me, this recovery period was a few weeks. Whilst for Branden Fraser, it seems to have been a few years.
Asked for an apology from Burke and from the HFPA, but refused to take the allegation public, saying, quote, I didn't want to contend with how that made me feel, or it becoming part of my narrative. Fraser also assumes that his allegation and work withered on the vine for me. In my mind, at least, something had been taken away from me. He asked for an apology from Burke and from the HFPA, but refused to take the allegation public, saying, quote, I didn't want to contend with how that made me feel, or it becoming part of my narrative.
Okay, Branden Fraser said that. I thought, this dude.
Fraser also assumes that his allegation and personal pushback against Burke caused him to be blacklisted by the Hollywood Foreign Press. He states that he curried disfavor with the group.
Oh. Branden Fraser in Scrubs. God. I don't think a TV show had managed to make me cry before this three-parter. Yeah. Oh.
And was rarely invited back to the.
If you haven't seen it, you have to see it. Like it's a non. My girlfriend, she hates it. She hates Scrubs. I'm considering breaking up just because.
Golden Globes, which are hosted by the HFPA. The HFPA in turn denies any involvement in Fraser's lack of work, putting the onus of blame on Fraser and Fraser alone. This self-imposed posted against Burke caused him to be blacklisted by the Hollywood Foreign Press, or it becoming part of my narrative. Fraser also assumes that his allegation and personal pushback against Burke caused him to be blacklisted by the Hollywood Foreign Press. He states that he curried disfavor with the group and was rarely invited back to the Golden Globes, which are hosted by the HFPA. The HFPA in turn denies any involvement in Fraser's lack of work, putting the onus of. Fraser also assumes that his allegation and personal pushback against Burke caused him to be blacklisted by the Hollywood Foreign Press. He states that he curried disfavor with the group and was rarely invited back to the Golden Globes, which are hosted by the HFPA. The HFPA in turn denies any involvement in Fraser's lack of work, putting the onus of blame on Fraser and Fraser alone. This self-imposed retreat, depression, and possible blacklisting by the HFPA are mirrored in Fraser's filmography. He didn't work much between 2003 and 2008, appearing in just 4 movies. Sure, one of those movies was Crash, but the other 3 are very small and low-budgeted films that you've probably never heard of. In comparison, Fraser released 10 movies between 1999 and 2003. In turn, Fraser's lack of
Okay.
substantial work
Come
started to
on.
make him feel like a failure. He tells GQ that
Get
he was
me the
considered
good
for the role
stuff.
of Superman in the early 2000s. The movie became 2006's Superman Returns, and if you recall, Superman was not played by Branden Fraser, but by newcomer Brandon Routh.
Wait.
This was a major
Okay. As much as I love Branden Fraser, him as Superman, would have been a bad look. It's gonna be a Nicolas Cage man.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have the same
Very, yeah.
Come on, show me Nicolas Cage. There we go.
It's not fair.
And also Tim Burton directing a Superman movie. Oh,
What is going in I think this stuff is. So Nick, you like
yeah.
movement
You see that?
seems pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, you were saying it'll feel a little looser the more I wear it.
Yeah, it's really tight.
This is great. Look at that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Wow.
You know,
That
the
moves
hardest
good.
thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that works.
you know, have we figured out what the suit is?
Remember we kind of talked about like a chemical baby blanket
Which I
or
love,
something
yeah.
almost, you know? That kind of, I wouldn't say has a life of its own, but it has like almost more chemical properties.
Yeah. I love the sparkle thing. It's like it has the imagination of the child in it. There's sparkle does.
Sounds good.
Worry about Clark Kent later.
Yeah.
Yeah, well you can just dull it.
We can just do something different.
No, yeah, that's fine.
Well, that gives it that kind
That's
of
that thing
magical.
too. We were talking because we're talking about like.
Can you imagine Tim Burton, Nicolas Cage, Superman? Superman.
like when he's that he's just more heightened. So
Yeah,
we
exactly.
would do
And
Yeah.
this is nowhere near strong enough for all.
Yeah.
If that's what you like, then
Yeah.
I'm happy with
I like to
that.
try that.
Oh yeah.
Try that.
I like the idea that it gets wild.
Yeah, well, it should. And in that comic, it's got a strength to it, you know.
I like it. I'm starting to get attached to this length. What do you think, too? I mean,
We'll get off of this after we're here.
No, but we are here, so we might as well celebrate mine as much as we can. Yeah. The only thing is, like, what was wrong with the original costume was that he wore his underpants on the
I
outside.
know. We don't want to.
But maybe if they were darker blue, you know, maybe if they weren't
That's
glaring red. What does the cape mean exactly?
I know. Well, that's another. That's something that. I mean, I was gonna treat it again the same way. Like it's just. That's why we're here. See if we're.
I was muted. Tim Burton had no idea what he was doing, right? I mean, this is just... He's just spitballing. He's hoping Nicolas Cage would come up with some wacky idea. And he's gonna go, yeah! Yeah! That's what we're gonna do. Look at him!
It kind of has like a velvet look to it. It's just like a child's blanket. We know we're doing a fairy tale.
Yeah.
They're treating Superman as if he's a grown baby, you know? Flying around with this blanket still attached to him. Oh, you're gonna need your blanket? Huh? Okay, Superman, I got your blanket.
Yeah,
Too seriously. It's not too much.
Yeah. I think you want to see this.
Yeah. I agree, actually.
In its entirety without it going into.
Did you design the S thing?
Well, we kind of took it off from the more modern ones where it's a little just sleeker. Well, that's the whole thing. We would make it reminiscent of whatever we see on Krypton. That's the whole.
My father wore this cape.
This cape was handed down to me.
Now he's wearing hand-me-downs? Okay. This is a stun lock. I'm sorry. We're watching Branden Fraser. What the fuck happened to him? And he was apparently supposed to play Superman. Who knew?
Blow to Fraser's confidence, and he unfortunately considered himself a failure. Things got even worse for Fraser in 2007, as he...
Could you imagine? You land... You're the highest grossing actor in all of Hollywood, and you still doubt yourself. Could you imagine? And then there are guys out on the pub who hasn't held down a steady job for longer than a few weeks, months maybe. They believe they are God's gift to women. And then there's Branden Fraser, who's like, you know what? I'm kind of a disaster.
And Afton Smith, his wife of 9 years, decided to divorce. However, the following year saw Branden briefly returning to profitable leading man status. 2008 saw the release of both The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, and Journey to the Center of the Earth, which combined to gross over $640 million at the box office.
That's 1 point for me, right?
Who's keeping track?
Unfortunately, this return to stardom was severely ill-timed, as Fraser's health was falling apart. He tells GQ, quote, "By the time I did the third Mummy picture, I was put together with tape and ice." Years of stunt work and intense physical acting had taken its toll, and Fraser required multiple surgeries. These included a laminectomy.
Yeah, there's really a reason why the studios don't want actors doing their own stunts. There is a reason for it. They're not being stubborn, you know? They just don't want to pay for all that surgery. And, yeah. So I can, yeah, Branden Fraser shouldn't have done all. Maybe that's why he's changed his weight so much. Because he can't really move as he used to. Maybe. Yeah, and this is why Tom Cruise wasn't allowed to do his own stunts when in MI1, the original Mission Impossible. But he became a producer just to do that. Say what you want about Tom Cruise, but he's a badass.
Replacement, vocal cord repair, and the bolting of compressed spinal pads. If that sounds like a total nightmare, that's because it was. Fraser spent the next 7 years in and out of various hospitals.
Yeah,
he was
that's
forced to take roles in movies that he wasn't proud of, and which paid considerably less than he was used to, which of course only added to his depression and sense of failure. If he wasn't in the surgery room, recovering from a surgery or preparing for an upcoming surgery, he was in and out of family court. By 2013, Fraser could no longer afford his annual child support payment of $900,000, which, if our math checks out, is $75,000 a month. In early
$75,000 a month. $75,000 a month. This dude is paying two fucking yearly salaries a month to his ex-wife. Alimony. Okay, let me go off here. Alimony used to be about taking care of the woman because she couldn't work herself. Having her have a steady income since she can't work herself so that the kids don't have to starve. That's the original idea behind alimony. It's a good idea. Sure. America, for some fucking reason, decided, you know what? You can't change the amount you're allotted. If the judge said you have to pay $75,000 a month, you're going to have to pay it for the rest of your life. Or until, kids grow up, whatever it is. Or she remarries. It's insane. It's insane. Why would anyone want to get married in the US? If you're rich in the US, you're screwed. You can't get married. I'm sorry. It's even, and this is gonna happen more and more to women. It's already happened to some women, and they are complaining. Trust me. They are complaining like shit. It's crazy. I'm seeing now that apparently they've detected some issues with the Branden Fraser clip. What I'm gonna do is keep an eye on that one. Okay. We're gonna see how much further we can go with this.
early 2013, he petitioned the court for a reduced payment, claiming that he was unable to procure the necessary funds due to a significant lack of work. When all is said and done, there wasn't one thing that ruined Fraser's career. The man was struck by an unfortunate amount of bad luck, and everything seemed to coalesce into a perfect storm of career and personal degradation. Before we continue, Mick may have impacted his status as a profitable leading man. In 2003, while in the midst of said bombs, he was allegedly groped by the ex-president of the Hollywood Foreign Press and potentially blacklisted.
Oh, that's the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press. That's why the... Okay.
Out, which led to a substantial lack of work. This lack of work made him feel like a failure and further worsened his depression. His marriage subsequently fell apart and he divorced from his wife of 9 years. His body then fell apart, and he was in and out of hospitals for 7 years while he was restructured and repaired. And in the middle of all of that, Frasier was facing significant financial troubles and could no longer afford his massive child support payments of $75,000 a month, may we remind you. So that's what happened to Branden Fraser. It's certainly not an easy answer, but these things seldom are. Luckily, Frasier's career seems to be on the upswing again, and he's made a name for himself on television. Since 2015, he's starred in shows like Texas Rising, Trust, and Condor. He currently portrays Cliff Steele, also known as Robot Man, on DC Universe's Doom Patrol. Maybe it's not
I haven't
leading
seen
man
it,
material,
but I've heard good
but it's
things.
something. And at this point, we're happy to see him in anything. He deserves it.
Sometimes George fall out of treehouse, but not feel stupid. Something good always happen after. George just...
I'm getting a warning. Either way, the movie's over. And yeah, so that's Branden Fraser. It's kind of wild, really, how big of a star this guy was. Now look at him. Private now. So I have an idea. Here? Thinking. I'm gonna what was I Oh, right. So, first of all, I'm gonna show you D-Lo. This dude is I can't put into words how fucking amazing this guy's control his own voice is. Seriously. Let's start here. Beatboxing, just as the rapper box. It's I mean, it's serviceable. It's just nothing, not much there, is there? There are some guys. Of course there are gonna be white guys. Of course they are. White guys and the Asians is my understanding of this demographic. And we're gonna listen to D-Lo first, because he is probably the best one. I don't know. I don't follow this. Just curious about it and happened to stumble upon it.
The winner of the Soul.
It's
2019 Grand Beatbox Battle. Everybody. Oh.
Again, nothing but a mic.
You share my soul is split to do. You make me fall
It's
in love with
it's a one-man dance machine.
you.
Is what it is.
Soul is bliss. You make me fall in love with you.
I don't know. I just wanted to see it because D-Lo has a song. Maybe it's hard sometimes. I don't know. I believe it's still just him, but this is an original song, which, from my understanding, they usually have they do covers, you know, like remixes. But yeah, this is all him, an original track.
Oh, it's hard sometimes to feel alive. Oh, I don't know why. I have to try. Oh,
I would
it's
love to
hard
see like a
sometimes
classic. I would love to see Ben Shapiro try to parse this, you know. And it's not music. No, that's not Ben Shapiro. What does the Ben Shapiro sound like? Ben Shapiro. I've never tried a Ben Shapiro. I can do a Trump.
Way that Joe Biden wants to go.
Where Joe Biden wants to go. There we go. Yes, this isn't the music. It's just audible noises being spread through the airwaves. You know, it's some degenerate version of what we would call music. There's only one person doing noises. That's what this is. This is like Police Academy level of music, okay? This is not real music. But he's amazing! I am floored at the amount of things you can do with just your voice.
I have to try.
And I believe it's just him. Just his voice and a mic. The range. Yeah. Okay, I can just sit there and listen to it. You know, it's okay. It's okay. But not because I believe it's this one. This is the video I first stumbled upon when I started making or tried to listen to some. I just happened to stumble upon beatboxing, and I'm like, whatever, come on. The championships? Really? Okay. It's... Here we go. Him? Guy too. No, it's just him. I want the actual battle. 20. There we go. So they have like just like rap battles, you know? They have these here we go. Back and forth, you know, it's first, this guy, he's okay, you know. I'm not. Don't get me wrong, he's amazing. I couldn't do shit close to what he can. You see, I mean, this is amazing. But compared to D-Lo, maybe this guy has the same, or just as equally good of vocal control as D-Lo does. But the artistic ability, that's where D-Lo sets the bar, you know? In my opinion. As well as in vocal control. Because I still believe that this D-Lo has a better bass. But this is good. But you've already heard a sneak peek. It's a bit hacky, you know. It's not on beat always. And then D-Lo is like, okay, so this is your thing. Let me do my thing in your thing in my style, okay? How do you do all these noises?
I am not a psycho, I just want to call the alchemist.
I love that guy. Yeah. Okay, so I've shown you D-Lo. It's just I just stumbled upon it one day, and I do not know how. Ben Shapipo. Shapupo. By the way, you know who I hate? Vosh. I really hate Vosh. He's just so... Anyway. So, yeah. It's just... I just happened to stumble upon this subculture, and I thought it was interesting. That's it. I just want to share. How long have I been live? Which view? When I went online? Have I been online? There we go. Okay. I'll probably cap it here, you know? Solid hour, that's okay. This is my second stream. I'm still getting the kinks out. I'm still getting the hang of things. Not much you can do, really. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I am. So if you enjoyed this stream, not that anyone was watching, live at least, but if you happen to watch later, please give me a like, give me a subscription. That's all I'm asking for. Is it too much that really too much to ask for? The streams are no. That's not good enough. My Trump is better than that. These streams are amazing. It's also nasally and crispy. He has such a strange voice, Trump. I can do a good Trump. Believe I can do a good Trump. I've heard I can do a good Trump. The people have spoken. They like me, okay? They don't like you. They don't like these people. They like me. That's my bet. That's my Trump. It's not the best I can do, but I'm tired, so I have some excuses. But I'm gonna work on my Trump, and I'm gonna make it good. Okay? I'm gonna make it good. I'm gonna make it good. I'm gonna hit it hard. Anyways, I'm just goofing around. Yeah, if you enjoy that, please give a like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and I'll see you when I see you. Okay, bye.